Joining me from the US, from Canada, from Australia, from New Zealand. I know we've got a few people joining today. And as it's a live event, people will come in and come out as we go, I'm sure. So it's great to have you here. And I've been doing this for a few months now. The format has changed this week. We're on Zoom. That is because I'm working on a glitch on the LinkedIn registration form. So watch this space. We may end up going back to a LinkedIn Live soon. At the end today, I will share how you can work with me to bring the power of style that enhances your executive presence. And I'd love to hear where you were joining from so others can see that you're here. And yeah, you're welcome to use the chat for that. I'll be able to see that. Um, so welcome, welcome. We're talking about this topic of does fabulous style lead to great success? And when I was rising, so there I am wearing the same shirt I'm wearing today. When I was rising through the ranks in corporate, I saw some people who had style and some who were, still working their style out. Um, some women were very successful with style and sometimes slightly without, and sometimes that style was just average. So it was confusing. And as a science, an applied science graduate myself, I've got an honors degree in applied science. um, I am looking at this through the lens of, if we see someone who's successful, is it because who's successful and stylish? Is it because the style has led to their success, or does the style just happen to be part of the picture? Perhaps they became successful and then style was more interesting to them and they had more access to it, and maybe it went the other way around. So I'm kind of looking at it through a scientist's lens and thinking, how do we tease this out? And what I'm going to share today is what I've noticed from my own clients and the successful women I know, which reminds me to come back to a particular point here. Um, but I want to share one of my clients' stories. Her name was Laura, and she had a career in finance. She'd been a very successful accountant for a long time, a management accountant, and was now and had recently become successful in a CFO role. It's a quite large company that she's gone to work for, and they have an international presence from New Zealand, which is fantastic. I've also had the pleasure of hearing the CEO of this organization speak at an event, and she is an incredibly well-dressed woman. So I knew the tone and the standard that my client was going into when she went into that organization. And what she was conscious of, what she was saying to me about this next step and about the role of style was that there were a number of things to it, but fundamentally there was this one major message that I'm worth it. And so one of the major reasons that she wanted to turn up in this role in style that looked fantastic on her was that she wanted to send that message, I'm worth it. And she actually didn't want to just, I guess, send the message, but also to really own that statement, to feel it. But why would she be thinking that? The obvious reason is that her style is about how other people saw her. And we talk about that quite a bit. Style is visual, it's an instant language, it's a tool for self-expression, but it instantly lets others know a few key things: what you think about the way this organization works, the environment that you're in, the value that you place on it. And it's a very powerful message for, I get the way things work around here. So it makes sense that she wanted to send that message because she knew that eyes would be on her. But there is something less obvious when we think about the connection between style and success. And that is that there's a huge role for something that we don't really know how to define. So it's something around how we see ourselves, and that drives our mindset and our behavior. And if you've ever talked with a life coach in depth, or you have explored your own success through a coaching journey, you've probably bumped up against this concept of identity. And thanks to one of the women on this call for pointing out the words of a guy, a success guru, called Bob Proctor. And he is one of the figureheads at Proctor Gallagher. Um, a Canadian man, I believe he's passed away, but only quite recently. But well, his work is all about showing you how to get extraordinary results. And he says something really interesting. He said, I had never gone to school, I had no money, and I had dumb jobs. But then I mentally made up my mind that at least I wasn't going to be, if not the best dressed, I was going to be one of the best dressed people in the room. And he says, why did I do that? I did that because I was changing how I saw me. And now Procter Gallagher is a company that operates all over the world. So there's been a huge, so he has gone from having no money in his pocket and one scratchy tweed suit that he had to wear in summer to now having an international company, huge reach, and all the money he needs to be able to buy plenty of suits, and $3,000 in his pocket. So I just love that. And his point was that he was changing his self-image. He was changing the way he saw himself quite deliberately to be successful. And he has reportedly said, so thank you to Jenny for mentioning this quote. He has reportedly said that one of the fastest ways to change your self-image is to change how you dress. So it's a question for us if we're on a path to greater success. How do we see ourselves? What is our self-image? So let me give you another example. A client of mine, Melissa, had been quite successful in her career and was now taking on an even more senior role with greater visibility and a need to present to the board fairly often, visibility at the highest levels of the organization. And for her, this was the role of style in her success. She wanted to look the part. She wanted to look like she belonged in that room. And my approach with her, as with all my clients, is to start with who she is. And by starting with who she is, each woman steps into aligned style that is their most powerful style. It's most powerful to turn up as we are, our authentic selves, rather than to pretend to be someone that we're not. And then she also said that so she told me that she loved the clothes, and I could see, it's that gorgeous feeling of the buzz on someone's face when they're just loving what they're wearing, but also that the experience was a lot more fun than she expected. And what was happening for her is she was actually starting to see herself as that woman who does belong in that room. And speaking of which, this is so key. I came across this beautiful quote from Reshma Saujani, and she is the founder of Girls Who Code. And she talks about giving a speech. And she said the slot that they had given me was between Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. And it was the only speech anyone was giving in a summit of Fortune 100 CEOs. So otherwise, it sounds like it was Bill Gates and Warren Buffett who were the main speakers, and she was the only other one. And so she said you could imagine who was in the room. And I remember them saying, "This is a really hard speaking slot, Reshma, because most people are really intimidated. You've got Bill and Warren sitting in the front row, and it can be a little scary." And she says she remembers thinking, "How did I become this woman who used to be that girl?" And she remembers thinking it's because she's been in every single powerful room, met CEOs, presidents, prime ministers, and when she's met them, men, she has thought, you're running what? And then she's thought, me and my girls, we can run circles around you. And so resisting this message that we're not good enough, that we don't belong, has been really powerful for her. And she said the real resistance in this moment is saying, I am not buying into that. I am here and I can lead too. And this is where style can be a deliberate and intentional choice that reminds us all day that this is how I see myself. I see myself as belonging here, as worth it, as ready to step into these challenges, as being an absolutely ace, incredible, top tier, transformational person. And that is who I am. And it's that power of seeing our identity, seeing our self-image through the lens that we choose ourselves. That is why style is so powerful in creating success. And I think there's one other main reason as well. I'm going to talk more about this in the book. If you're curious about it, please do feel free to ask me for updates. I have a little kind of tag in my system to give people book updates. So when people ask, I add you to that. And when there are specific book updates, I will let you know. At the moment, I'm on track to have that published in about April next year. So here's another second reason. And let's just imagine that you are in your dream life. You're having that moment, like this similar kind of moment, like Reshma, where you're in this dream moment. You're giving that fantastic speech. You're getting that incredible opportunity. Are you in that moment? Imagine yourself there. Are you feeling frumpy? And I bet that the answer is no, because the very idea of it is ridiculous. Your clothes, of course, will be aligned with your success 100%. So it's just kind of it's so style is so intertwined with success that it's really hard to imagine that you could possibly be feeling frumpy in that moment. But many women want to play it safe when it comes to their style. They've taken risks in life, potentially, spoken up in meetings where they felt intimidated, pursued opportunities that others found scary, thrown themselves into things when there was no plan B, because they were so committed to it. And and something has driven them to take those risks, and and sorry, this is where we think differently as successful women. We know we need to take risks because growth exists outside our comfort zone. And yet many women are not realizing that their style is an area where they are playing it safe. And as a result, they are not telling themselves that they're worth it, and they don't look the part. They're not they're not looking like and sending a message that they belong in those rooms. And of course, the most powerful way to send that message, person to send that message to, is yourself. So why is it that many women want to play it safe like that? Um, and I believe that if we step back and had a look, we would realize that um, when we're pursuing exceptional, acceptable is never okay. It's never okay with our team performance. It's never okay in our own skills, even in the standards we expect of ourselves. Acceptable or, just okay, it doesn't belong anywhere near that exceptional standard that we want for our own lives, the exceptional success that we envisage. It's really hard to imagine Michelle Obama, for example, turning up um, in a very average outfit. You can't imagine her turning up in jeans and kicks and a t-shirt to an event like this, or being in the public eye in clothes that don't really flatter her proportions or that don't suit her at all. We can't imagine that of Kate Middleton. And when you look actually Kate Middleton's style, we have the benefit of having seen her pre-royal days and then as a royal, and her style is absolutely up to notch because she's in the public eye. She is aligning her look with the way that people see her and the role that she needs to play, and she gets to feel fantastic. She gets to feel I'm worth it. I'm royalty. And we wouldn't expect it of Kate Blanchett. So another gorgeous, famous person who has used style to their advantage, and of course we see that hugely with people in the entertainment industry. But without exception, women who have successful careers, and if you see an exception, I would love to know. Women who have really successful careers, who are visible, who are in the public eye, have realized that how they turn up matters, and their presence sets the tone for how others see and respect them. And that's why fabulous style leads to great success. So if you are ready to step into the next level of success, I am really happy to keep you updated with more of my work. And this is actually the wrong slide. So um, I'm going to see if I can just pause this for a sec and find the right one. Let's just leave it at this. So women will work with me to elevate their executive presence, and we can talk about what that looks like for you through a discovery call. There is a $10,000 package for a year's worth of looks. And that's the easiest way to absolutely transform your look and to be 100% ready for the boardroom, for the stage, and for TV, and your online screens. And then there are smaller packages like the $4,000 Executive Brilliance package. And in 7 weeks, you go from feeling like your style is average, and maybe you've got a couple of hits that you enjoy and you have on high rotation, to feeling like every day you step into invigorating, inspiring style. And it's a real delight to do that work with you. And I bring to life your style through my purpose-led presence method. So my styling always starts with you and your purpose, your strengths, and how we can create that alignment for you. So I will drop onto the event link, the event posts, wherever you saw this event. I will drop the discovery call link there so that you can go back and take that up. And I look forward to talking with you and see you again next week.